This guy went viral because of his rainbow hair and provocative videos, but in the span of a few years, he would end up buried in debt and hunted by New York's biggest gangs. And it was his own fault. Chapter 1. Before the name, the face. Tekashi 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, is from the SoundCloud generation. Like Lil Peep and XXXTentacion, he was part of a new wave of rappers who did not need labels to get noticed. They could build an audience on their own. But Tekashi did not get famous because of his music. On July 5th, 2017, he posted a selfie on Instagram. Long rainbow hair, 4 69 tattoos on his face, a rainbow grill on his top teeth. The picture spread on Reddit and Twitter, and it turned into a meme. Chapter 2. Buying street credibility. Not long after the selfie went viral, 6ix9ine released Gummo.
Niggas envy blicky got the stiffy got the blicky drumming up slicky
The track climbed all the way to number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. And from that point on, everything got bigger. His personality matched his face. He was a whole character, and by then, he had already started to understand something. Provocation worked. It got people talking, it got people watching, so when he shot the Gummo video, he leaned into that image even harder. He brought in members of the gang 9 Trey Bloods. Not because he was one of them, he was not. He wanted the gang image, the street credibility, and most of all, he wanted the attention, and it was about to turn against him. Using 9 Trey members in Gummo gave him the image he wanted, but it also created a problem. If he was not really with them, that image would not last, and people would realize he was a fraud, so he got closer to them. By the end of 2017, after releasing the tracks Gummo and Kuda, 6ix9ine had become an active member of the 9 Trey Bloods. The deal was simple. Tekashi 6ix9ine gave 9 Trey more visibility and more money by continuing to make hits. In exchange, they gave him street credibility, status, and protection. And that was the moment things started to go south. Chapter 3. 9 Trey. As a gang member, Tekashi now had to live up to his reputation, and he did. Over the next 4 months in 2018, he got involved in a series of crimes with 9 Trey. At the same time, his music was still rising fast. His debut mixtape, Day 69, had dropped on February 23rd, 2018. It debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 with 55,000 album equivalent units in its first week. By May 8th, it was already gold, and Gummo had already gone platinum in March. In April, 6ix9ine and other 9 Trey members took part in a gunpoint robbery near West 40th Street and 8th Avenue in Manhattan. The robbery was part of a gang feud. It came after a conflict with Rap A Lot at the SXSW Music Festival. He felt humiliated there, so this was payback. The victims were robbed inside the lobby of a Manhattan building, while 6ix9ine filmed from a car nearby. Then, on April 21st, he was at Barclays Center with other gang members, when one of them fired a gun inside the packed arena. The reason? Tekashi was in a feud with another Brooklyn rapper, Casanova, and he was there with his crew. And the music kept moving too. On April 10th, he released Gotti. It reached number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then, on May 27th, he dropped Tatai with DJ Spin King. That one reached number 46 on the Hot 100. So, while his gang life was getting more dangerous, the numbers were still going up. Then it got worse. In June 2018, 6ix9ine paid $20,000 to have drill rapper Chief Keef shot outside a hotel in Times Square. Chief Keef was not just any rapper. He was already one of the biggest names in Chicago drill. This was about status. Tekashi wanted to raise his status inside 9 Trey with real actions, not just music videos. Then it got even worse. On July 16, 2018, 6ix9ine and other 9 Trey members agreed to shoot at someone who had disrespected the gang. An innocent bystander got hit. By that point, it was no longer just a game. A few weeks later, it came back on him. In the early hours of July 22, 2018, he was grabbed outside his Brooklyn home, beaten, robbed, and forced into a car. Jewelry and cash worth hundreds of thousands of dollars were taken from him.
We have money now. We have money now. Get in the car. 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 We're gonna shoot you.
Necesito que llame a la policía. Acaban de secuestrar a mi hermano. Por favor.
The men behind it came from inside the same gang he had joined. It happened during a split of factions inside 9 Trey. They followed his car, hit it, pulled him out at gunpoint, beat him, and took him back to his house to get the jewelry. And the contrast was insane. Later that same day, after being kidnapped, he released FIFA with Nicki Minaj and Murda Beats. The song debuted at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and climbed to number 3 the next week. By mid-August, it was already platinum, and the official video has now passed 1.11 billion views on YouTube. Chapter 4. Playing Gang Member. Fefe was huge, and a new album was on the way. It was called Dummy Boy. The album had Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, Bobby Shmurda, Tory Lanez, A Boogie, Gunna. It was supposed to come out on November 23rd. Then everything stopped. On November 18th, federal agents arrested Tekashi 6ix9ine and several 9 Trey members and associates. This was no longer just rap beef or gang drama online. The federal case tied him to the Manhattan robbery, the Barclays Center shooting, and the July shooting that hit an innocent bystander. 2 of the charges carried a maximum sentence of life in prison. He was denied bail, and even from jail, Dummy Boy still came out on November 27th. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Chapter 5. The Feds. At first, he pleaded not guilty, but just one day after his arrest, he started cooperating with the government. In January 2019, he pleaded guilty to 9 federal charges. He admitted he had joined 9 Trey in late 2017. He admitted he had taken part in the Manhattan robbery. He admitted he had helped the gang sell illegal substances, and he admitted he had helped arrange the shooting linked to Chief Keef because he wanted a better reputation inside the gang. Then, he did the one thing his whole image could not survive. He got on the stand. In September 2019, he testified against Anthony Ellison and Aljermiah Mack, the 2 men who had kidnapped him, for 3 days. He explained how 9 Trey worked from the inside. He explained why he joined. He wanted street credibility, and when he was asked what he got in return, his answer was simple: my career. Then he explained who the key people were. He explained the crimes. And he explained to the jury his own role in them. And it worked. In October 2019, Ellison and Mack were convicted. In December 2019, the judge gave Daniel Hernandez 2 years in prison, 5 years of supervised release, 300 hours of community service, and a $35,000 fine. Without the cooperation, the sentence could have been much worse. So he saved himself. But he destroyed the one thing he had spent all this time building: his image. And from that point on, one word followed him everywhere, and still follows him to this day: snitch. Chapter 6. The Snitch. And yes, snitching is the worst thing you can do when you're in the rap game. And after that, his career should have been over. It was not. In April 2020, he got out early and served the rest of his sentence at home. COVID was spreading through prisons. He had asthma. A few months after going to prison, he was already out. On May 8th, he released Gooba, his first song since prison. It went straight to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. He did not come back quietly. He turned himself into an animated rat. He showed his ankle monitor. He even mocked the fact that he had snitched and still came home with money. The whole comeback was a taunt, and it worked. Gooba broke the record for the biggest 24-hour debut for a hip-hop video on YouTube. Then he pushed it even further. In June 2020, he released Trolls with Nicki Minaj. The song debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was the first #1 of his career, actually, and he was still leaning into the same image, even on the song. Nicki plays into it, talking about snitches when it snitches in your camp.
Talking about snitches when it snitches in your camp.
He was not trying to escape the label. He was playing with it. Then he tried to turn that moment into a full second act. In September 2020, he released Tattletales, his first album after prison. It debuted at #4 on the Billboard 200. So yes, the comeback worked. He did it. Chapter 7, Time to Pay the Bill. But his luck wouldn't last, because his comeback didn't fix anything. In 2022, a streaming app called Stream Music sued him for $2 million. The company said it had paid him $150,000 to perform 2 shows in Hollywood and promote them on Instagram. He never showed up, and he never did the promo. And after that, his life got so much worse, because even if the public loved the provocation, in real life, being a snitch was about to cause him so much problems. In March 2023, Tekashi was attacked inside the steam room of an LA Fitness in Lake Worth, Florida. The beating sent him to the hospital. The whole fight was recorded and published online. A few months later, he was arrested in the Dominican Republic after a local music producer accused him of assault. Then, he was arrested in the Dominican Republic in a domestic violence case involving his girlfriend at the time, Dominican rapper Yailin La Mas Viral. He was released under conditions. He had to pay a $510 deposit, attend counseling, and report to authorities every 2 months while the investigation continued. Then the debt became visible. In April 2024, IRS agents showed up at his home in Lake Worth, Florida. They seized his cars and other property, and in July, 2 of those cars were sold at auction. His 2019 Lamborghini Urus sold for $175,043. His 2017 Bentley Continental GT Speed sold for $85,500. Together, the 2 cars were worth $260,543. And even when new money came in, the debt was still there. In October 2024, he signed a new deal with Cartel Music, worth more than $6 million. But reports said a good chunk of that money would go toward his IRS debt. Then he went back to prison again. In November 2024, a federal judge sent him back for 45 days. He had missed illegal substance tests. He had traveled from Florida to Las Vegas without permission. He had lied to his probation officer. The judge also extended his probation by 1 year because of this. Then came more restrictions. 1 month of home incarceration, 1 month of home detention, 1 month of curfews, an international travel ban, and electronic monitoring. By early 2025, the IRS was selling more of his belongings publicly online. An auction listed 63 of his items: jewelry, bags, and record plaques. The plaques pulled some of the highest bids. A platinum plaque for Bebe sold for $24,320. A platinum plaque for Gummo sold for $18,240. Then another old problem came back. In March 2025, a judge ordered him to pay $250,000 for ghosting at Howard University homecoming show back in 2018. He had already been paid nearly $60,000. More than 3,000 people had shown up, and he never performed. In December 2025, a judge gave him 3 more months in prison for new supervised release violations. Small amounts of illegal substances, cocaine, and ecstasy had been found at his Miami home during a police raid in March. He had also punched a man at a Florida mall in August after the man mocked him over his snitching. Another event shows him with a fake fan dissing him in French in a mall encounter. At that same judge hearing, he described the pressure that was still around him. He said unknown people left a coffin outside his house with an animal inside. He also said 3 masked men held his mother at gunpoint. He had pretty much lost everything, including the capacity to hire security guards to protect him. By the end of it, he was buried under more than $10 million in debt for years. 6ix9ine found a way to turn every of his actions into more attention and money. And for a while, attention kept paying, until it didn't. And it makes sense. He built a career by getting rewarded every time he pushed things too far. And by the time those rewards stopped, the damage to his life was already too real. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to Musician Goods TV. See you at the next video.